Hi, I'm Sophia from Wonder Love Lactation, and I'm here today to answer some of the most common questions new moms have about breastfeeding. I have been a nurse since 1991, and I'm a lactation consultant that does home visits and office visits for mothers and babies that need help with breastfeeding. Some of the more common questions are related to how your newborn behaves when they first get here. And it's really important to remember where your newborn came from. They came from a most perfect environment, literally a bubble. So when they get here, they have no protection on the inside or outside, and they're used to being carried all the time. One of the ways that you can really help your newborn adjust to being on the outside is holding your baby skin to skin. It has a very stabilizing effect for mom and baby. It will keep your baby's vital signs stable as well as your own. It helps your baby maintain their blood sugar. It helps mom maintain her blood pressure. Your breathing actually prompts your baby to remember to breathe, because that's one of the things they've never had to do before. It also helps alleviate pain for mom and baby. And your baby probably has a pretty terrific headache by the time they get here, because they've been upside down on their head for a while. Safe skin to skin I'll help you, I help me right here, is holding your baby on your chest, skin to skin, with nothing between the two of you. Right, you want their head right below where you can lean down and kiss the top of their head. Their arms should be frogged out, and their legs should be frogged out, so they can get all that contact with you. You'll help keep your baby warm, which will help keep your baby more alert and safe. It'll help your hormones so you make more milk, and it also helps you fall in love with your baby because it helps you release oxytocin, which is the hormone of love. Your baby will be instantly calm because they hear your voice and your heartbeat like they did inside of you. Your baby will constantly want to look for their hands to suck on, because inside of you their little hands were here, so that's what they did. So trying to latch sometimes is difficult because of that. The closer you have your baby, the less likely they are to look and get frustrated and get restless. When you see your baby licking their lips or bringing their hands to their mouth, that's when you can try to latch your baby. Think about also where your baby came from. So being on you is very calming. Parents are often inclined to send their baby to the nursery so they can sleep, or just to have some time and put the baby down, and it's very foreign for your baby to be alone. So holding your baby is one of the biggest things that you can do to help your baby latch and nurse well. Your baby will also tend to be more awake at night than during the day, because inside of you they were probably more active than they were during the day. So at night you may notice that they eat very often, so keeping your baby in the room with you will help you and your baby learn how to breastfeed well. The way to know if your baby's actually eating at the breast is kind of a hard thing to tell. Sometimes if it hurts, that's a good sign that things aren't going well. You can have your nurse help you with latching. Hopefully you'll have lactation wherever you deliver, and they'll also help you. If your baby is giving you hunger signs by licking their lips or bringing their hands to their mouth, you want to make sure that you hold your baby so that they're facing their food. Meaning you don't want to do this that everyone does. This is how most people feed their babies, and your baby doesn't have a strong enough neck to be able to get to your breast and stay there. So when I say that your baby should face their food, they should be all the way on their side. So when you look down, you see that their ear, their shoulder, and their hip make a nice straight line. You can hold your baby snug by running your hand behind their back like this, and that's the best way to latch your baby. If you've had a C-section and you're really sore, your nurse can help you with the football position, which is really the same. It's just behind you and on the side. So it would be like this. Look for long jaw movement when your baby eats. That means that you see their whole jaw moving from here to here. It looks like their ear wiggles when they're really pulling at the breast. You'll also listen for swallows. When your baby swallows colostrum, they make a little sound from their nose. And then you'll feel very sleepy, very thirsty, and very crampy when you feed your baby, and that means your hormones are working and your baby's actually taking milk from you. The normal breastfed newborn, what to expect. Your baby's not born hungry. When they get here, they've been fed by the placenta the whole time they were inside of you, so they have no idea what hungry means. Newborn normals are that your baby has a very tiny tummy. The first 24 hours, your baby can hold about a teaspoon per feed, so that's what you can easily provide with your colostrum. Your baby may be very sleepy on the first day. You can actually hand express your colostrum, put it on a spoon, and offer it to your baby, and that'll help get your baby get energy so they can start breastfeeding. Your colostrum provides a lot of calories for your baby in a very small amount, and that's really the only food your baby's able to digest when they first get here. If you're wondering how often your baby should be eating when they first get here, there's really no hard and fast rule. Anytime they seem interested or licking their lips, you can offer. Your baby's never felt hungry, so somewhere in the second 24 hours, they'll start to get hungry because that placenta is no longer feeding them. When they get hungry for the first time, they get pretty cranky, just like we do. Nursing through that hungry period will help your milk transition in faster, and it'll help your baby learn what fixes being hungry. When I feel hungry, I eat and I feel better. That's what they learn in that second day. Your baby will master nursing and you'll master breastfeeding the more often you feed during that period. Try to keep your baby close and offer breastfeeding anytime there's interest. There's no arbitrary amount of time that you have to wait between feedings. If you have a fussy or sleepy baby, colostrum on a spoon will help calm them so you can try to latch. Skintoskin will also help that. Your baby shouldn't go longer than 2 to 3 hours without being fed in the first few days of life, and that's around the clock. Their stomachs are small, they're on a liquid diet, and they've experienced a very arduous event. The closer you keep your baby, the better your first few days will be. When will your milk come in? Your milk doesn't come in right away because your baby doesn't need milk yet, and they can't really digest it. Usually somewhere between the 3rd and 5th day of your baby's life, you'll start to notice that your breasts feel heavier and that you're starting to see a little bit more of a thin, runny consistency. Your body starts to make colostrum sometime after 20 weeks of pregnancy, but the hormones that keep you pregnant keep it from coming out. The more colostrum you remove by hand expressing or by breastfeeding, the faster your milk volume increases and transitions in. Most mothers see this transition in 3 to 5 days. If you're not having complications during your pregnancy, you can actually start removing colostrum at 38 weeks, as often as you want. Research shows that the more colostrum you remove, the more colostrum you produce, and the faster your milk transitions in. If you are not having complications during your pregnancy, at 38 weeks you can start removing colostrum from your breasts by hand expressing as often as you want. Research shows that the more colostrum you remove, the more colostrum you produce, and it also helps your milk transition in sooner. It programs your breast tissue and your brain, which is what makes your milk to produce more breast milk. Let's summarize the important things to remember. Number 1, keep your baby close. Skin to skin is the best way. Number 2, offer food by breastfeeding or spoon feeding as often as you can to your baby. Even if they're sleeping, you can wake up baby and give them a spoonful of colostrum every hour if you want, and that will help your baby get the energy they need to start breastfeeding well. Look, listen, and feel to know if your baby's eating. Look for the long jaw movement, listen for swallowing, and see if you feel the signs that your baby's removing milk, which is sleepy, thirsty, and cramps. The second thing to look for is wet and dirty diapers. 1 on the first day of each, 2 on the second day of each, and 3 on the 3rd day of each. The dirty diapers should be a poopy rainbow. You'll first see black tarry or meconium that's really hard to wipe. Then you'll see it transition to a brown stool that's easier to wipe, then green and runny, and then yellow seedy as a normal baby, breastfed baby stool. Take care of mommy and daddy is number 4. Feed yourselves and feed your baby. Sleep when your baby sleeps. Enjoy your first few days as a family and spend as much time as you can with each other. Your baby loves to hear mom and dad's voice. He or she has heard you all the time inside of you. Limit visitors until you've mastered being mom and dad, and then invite them. If you have questions about breastfeeding or you're feeling overwhelmed, you may need help. Waiting doesn't make it easier. You can get help by calling, texting, or emailing with questions or concerns about breastfeeding. Getting help early helps you reach your breastfeeding goals. If you need help with breastfeeding, you can call me, and my email is below. You can also text me on that same number. You can email me at wonderlovelactation@gmail.com. I'm here to help you. I do home visits for moms and babies. I also have an office that you can come to me. If some moms have older children and can't pay attention at home, that's another option. And I also have a weekly support group at the Milton Public Library for moms and babies that's absolutely free, and any mom and baby are welcome.